the weirdest sex encounter that I ever had. If I could tell you guys that story, if that's all right. I want you guys to come back to 2004 with me. So close your eyes. I want you to just hear and taste Mr. Brightside by The Killers. Just time hop there with me. So I just got out of college in Ottawa, and I went back to my hometown of Thunder Bay, Ontario. That's where I'm from. Yeah. You must be from there, because no one ever... We were just like, ew, no. Smaller Winnipeg. Smaller, shittier Winnipeg. That's what it is. But I was fresh out of college. I was home for the summer, and I was like a nervous guy. I was like 20, I guess. I was like a nervous guy, right? And very shy and stuff like that. And I was just trying to not even find a girlfriend. I was just trying to get laid, really. I was trying to have sex because I just came out of living in a dorm, and I'd only ever, like, I don't know, want to do an act out, but like, I'd only ever thrown someone a bang one time. And so I go home for the summer, right? And a bunch of my friends are like, oh, we're going out to this stag and dough tonight, right? You guys know what a stag and dough is? People are getting married. You go out, you buy a bunch of drinks, they raise money and stuff like that. So we're going out to a stag and dough, and I go out with all my friends, and I thought, I'm going to have like a wingman tonight. I don't know if people even still say that anymore. I'm so old. But I got to have a wingman tonight. So I brought my uncle with me as my wingman. Not the same uncle, by the way. I should preface that. Different uncle. I just do everything with my uncles because I told you where I'm from. But I brought my uncle with me, which seems like a weird, like, I know that seems like a weird person to bring with you to like try and find a girl, try and hook up with somebody. But my uncle liked to party, you guys. My uncle liked to get messed up. He had one tooth left in his face. He honestly did. We would always tell people that it was his pizza tooth. And one time he drank an entire like 40-pounder of Seagram's VO, and he was out at his ice shack fishing because that's what people do up there, and he blacked out on a Coleman stove and melted a significant portion of his face off, like the Fargo version of Harvey Dent. That's what he did. So naturally I was like, this is my guy for sure. This is my guy. I'm going to find a girlfriend. Pre-Tinder, I'm going to find a girlfriend. And we go out, and again, I'm like really nervous and stuff, right? Like I don't know how to talk to ladies or anything like that, especially if I was like ladies. And it was what you would picture probably, like everyone here, what you might picture like a typical Friday night out on the town in Thunder Bay, Ontario, right? Like everybody's like tilting back, red Solo cups. There's like a little foreigner dancing out of the speaker. And all of a sudden, I'm like standing there in the corner of the room, and I see this lady from across the room just start shooting me the eyes, right? Just shoot me the business. Just eye fucking the royal blue shit out of me. And this lady was much older than me, and she was wearing denim everything. Like literally denim everything. Like denim dress, denim vest, denim shirt, denim in her hair. Her hair was like all teased to shit, like she was gonna go line up for Whitesnake a decade and a half too late. And I'm like, oh man, this lady's like just eye fucking me. And I'm like, oh, I'm like kind of pacing around, like 8 miling around in the corner, just like, what do I do? What do I do? And all of a sudden, I feel this big, just like giant sweaty oven mitt of a hand clamp down on my shoulder, and this voice leans in and goes, go get her, buddy, she's looking for it. Which sounds not cool in 2016, but I turn around and it was my uncle. So I chose my wingman wisely. So I was like, okay, you know what, man, I'm gonna do this. So I go and I buy her a drink, and it's going good. And we start having drinks, and then eventually we start making out and stuff. And people were just kind of looking at us like, ooh, gross. She's like a very, very overweight 20-year-old boy, and just like a lady who had blown through like 10 husbands, just full-on PDA in this shitty Legion Hall in Thunder Bay, Ontario, just going for it in life. But it was going great, and I felt like, oh man, this is like, this lady has experience. I'm gonna go this might be the one. I was 20, right? This might be the one. I've thought that so many times in life, by the way, as I established earlier. I'm always wrong. But I thought this might be the one. And then all of a sudden, but then it got like really weird, like even weirder. They brought out this tray of Jell-O shots, and this lady just opens up her purse and just starts arm loading them into her purse. And I'm just like, I'm like a responsible young man, like my parents raised a responsible young man. I'm just thinking like, what the fuck are you doing, lady? Like, you aren't allowed to do that. That's not above board. Plus, it's kind of gross, like open just Jell-O in your purse. There'd be like lint at best. There'll be lint stuck to those and shit. So I was like, what are you doing? And she leans in and scratches the side of my face hard too, like it hurt. It wasn't sexy or anything. And she made like this like purring sound like an old dying cat into my ear. And she goes, "You need to practice your licking." I was like, holy shit, right? And part of me was terrified, but part of me was super excited and into it, right? Because I was like, man, yes, this is where it's going tonight. I was terrified, but I wanted to just take the plunge. It was like skydiving, but into a 40-year-old lady. That's a horrible comparison. But I thought, fuck it, let's do it. I'll practice my licking. So we started doing the shots and stuff like that, and eventually she goes, "I live just down the street from here. You're coming home with me." Like, grabs me by the arm. Again, kind of sounds inappropriate. But I was like, whatever. I'm just going for it. This is great to me, right? This is great. So I start walking home with her, and we get about halfway there, and she stops in the middle of the street and just opens up her shirt, starts unbuttoning all the many layers of denim, and just like opens up and flashes me the goods, right? Like, I want to be like cool about it at this part of the story and just be like, try and sound gangsta about it a little bit, be like, yeah, man, she busts out her titties on me, man. I can't, because I look like this. I can't be that cool about it. So I just was like, oh, this is weird, but I thought I'll go for it. And all of a sudden, she takes her left breast, and she goes like this, and she yells, "Surprise!" And she super soakers me right in the face with some breast milk straight from the source. Yes. Yes. Which, I can say right now, there's a lot of women in the crowd tonight. I'm going to tell you right now, I literally didn't know that was scientifically possible. So good on you guys. I had no idea. I wasn't thinking this at the time because I was freaking out, right? But I'm pretty sure now that, like, that means you just had a baby also, by the way. You just had, like, you have a baby at home if you're still able to do that, right? But, like, to get aim and distance like that. But I was freaking out, too. I was, like, phoning everybody that I was there with that night. Just, like, doing, like, what I would call... The best comparison would be, like, Jeff Garland from Curb Your Enthusiasm, if you guys ever watch that show. Just, like, screaming into my phone, just like, "Larry, fucking Tickle! Pick me up, Larry!" But it's horrible. I'll never, like, that's like 12 years ago now. I'll never forget that taste ever. The closest thing that I could compare that to that I've stumbled across in the decade plus since was one time I drank some almond milk that was expired. And it like separates, so there's like the almond milk is on top and then it's all water. But like, yeah, I don't know. I had some bad breakups. The last year was especially bad. After I split up from my ex there and stuff like that, it was especially bad. But I don't think anything compares to that, because that was a night when my innocence was taken away from me. So I'm glad I'm happier online dating for sure. Don't do it in person. You guys were a lot of fun. Keep it going for Dave and everybody coming up. Thank you so much.
I don't know why more guys don't advertise the therapeutic powers of their dick. Like, they're always like, "Oh, my dick will make you feel so good," but they don't say how.